Imagine an entire generation that spoke a secret language as children, then forgot it ever existed. Linguists were stunned when they found it. This is the mystery of a forgotten tongue buried in South Korea. Imagine walking into a small town in South Korea, expecting to hear the familiar sounds of Korean, and instead stumbling upon something no linguist had ever documented before. Not an ancient script carved into stone, but a living, breathing dialect spoken by children, vibrant, rhythmic, and utterly unique. Now, imagine returning just a few decades later and finding that every single adult in that town has completely forgotten it ever existed. This isn't science fiction. It's one of the strangest linguistic mysteries ever recorded, and it happened in a quiet corner of South Korea, where the pressures of modern life, national identity, and cultural conformity collided in a way that silenced an entire generation's childhood tongue. Here's what researchers discovered. In this particular region, children naturally developed their own distinct way of speaking. It wasn't slang or baby talk. It had consistent grammar, unique vocabulary, and even subtle shifts in tone that set it apart from standard Korean. Linguists were stunned. They'd never seen anything like it. But when they came back years later to study it further, the adults who'd grown up using this dialect claimed they'd never spoken anything but standard Korean. They dismissed the recordings. They laughed. Some even became defensive, insisting there was no such thing. So where did the language go? Why did these adults deny something that had shaped their earliest memories? The answer lies in the invisible weight of belonging. From a very young age, children in this region absorbed the message, not through punishment, but through subtle social cues, that their local way of speaking was wrong, rural, or backward. Schools emphasized standard Korean. Media flooded in from Seoul. Parents, wanting better futures for their kids, encouraged them to blend in. Over time, the dialect faded from use. But what shocked scientists wasn't just that it disappeared. It's that it vanished so completely from memory that people genuinely believed they'd never spoken it at all. This raises a deeply unsettling question. If an entire generation can forget the very language of their youth, how many other tongues have slipped through the cracks of human history without anyone noticing? Languages don't always die with a dramatic last speaker. Sometimes they simply evaporate, silently, painlessly, without ceremony or record. And that's what makes this story more than just a linguistic curiosity. It's a warning. A reminder that culture isn't just preserved in books or museums. It lives in the way we speak, the words we choose, the sounds we pass down without thinking. When we lose those, we don't just lose vocabulary. We lose identity, connection, a piece of who we were. So next time you hear a child mispronounce a word or invent a silly phrase, pause, listen, because somewhere in that playful stumble might be the seed of a language the world will one day forget, unless we learn to cherish it now. Language lives deeper than memory, and sometimes it finds its way back. If this moved you, hit subscribe and share your thoughts below. See you in the next one.